Hey guys, it's Heather, and today we're making a very special treat. Cookies are my favorite thing to make, and today we are going to make DoubleTree chocolate chip cookies. Let's get started. First, I'm going to cream my butter without the sugar. I like to do this just in case it's not 100% room temperature. It just mixes and creams a little easier with the sugar. So once this goes for a minute or two, I will stop, scrape the sides, and then go ahead and add my sugar. I have brown sugar and my granulated white sugar all in one bowl. Then I'll go ahead and cream the butter and the sugars together, probably for around 2 minutes until it's light and fluffy. You'll look for the color and watch for it to get a little bit lighter, and you'll know you're on your way. After creaming the butter and sugar, I'm going to add 2 large eggs, vanilla. I like to eyeball it, but in the recipe you're supposed to use a teaspoon, and lemon juice. This is new. I've never used lemon juice in cookies, so I'm really excited to see how it turns out. After mixing everything together, gotta stop, scrape those sides. Gotta make sure everything is off of your paddle as well. Sometimes butter or sugar will clump on there and it won't get mixed with everything. And then after that, we'll let it just blend for about a minute or so. Next, gotta scrape those sides again. Gotta make sure everything is nice and incorporated. Next, we're going to add our dry ingredients. So salt, I like to use pink Himalayan. I just have an abundance of it, so that's what I use. And then our baking soda, our oats, and some all-purpose flour. Pretty standard cookie recipe, just a couple extra fun ingredients, so this will be a little interesting. A little bit different than my standard cookie recipe, but actually kind of similar. But that lemon juice is what I'm really excited to see. Okay, after everything has blended together, we don't want to overmix it, which is what the recipe was really big on. So I'm going to add in all the mix-ins by hand. So I want to make sure all of the batter is off of the paddle, scrape the sides. Make sure all of that goodness is back in the bowl. And now we're going to add in our chocolate chips. The recipe calls for chocolate chips, but I didn't have enough, so I'm adding white chocolate chips. But feel free to use all chocolate. And the recipe also called for walnuts, but I didn't have walnuts, so I had pecans, so I figured that would be good too. But just use what you got, you know, it's supposed to be fun. Now this dough is super thick, so I'm kind of struggling mixing it by hand. I think at one point I got a twinge in my wrist, which is why I had to pull it to the side and just kind of get to work there. But it's really thick, but you also don't want to overmix it, but you also want to make sure everything's mixed in. And of course I gotta just taste it. And of course this wouldn't be me if I didn't forget anything. You're supposed to add cinnamon, just a pinch of cinnamon. So back to the struggle mix, mixing that cinnamon in. Now I am going to bake. So the recipe said 3 tablespoons. I'm going to use this ice cream scoop. That seems about 3 tablespoons. Get a nice big scoop, pat it down with my hand, kind of round it out, and then just scoop it onto the pan. I only did 4 because they are such big cookies. I was scared once they baked that they might spread. So I started out with 4 and that was actually a good idea. We're going to bake these at 300 degrees for about 20 to 23 minutes. And look, boom! These are gorgeous. Like, these are big, beautiful, perfect. I don't think I've ever made a cookie look this beautiful. Look how big it is. It's about as big as my hand, but it's super like light, thin, crisp edges, nice and moist and chewy on the inside. It's perfect. I love them. I don't know if they're supposed to be this big. Like, I don't know if DoubleTree makes them this big, but I love the size. And it's just like, look at the bottom of that. That looks gorgeous. I hope you guys enjoy, and if you make them, let me know how they go. I really love this recipe.